Buenas noches, mi gente, and welcome to the Faywhat Show. Faywhat! So, our mission is to entertain, educate, and unite our community with real life topics in a safe, positive, and fun environment because, as you know, together we win and divided we fall. All right. And we talk about a little bit of everything on this show. So, on this week's show, we wanted to spotlight our gay icons. You know who they are, our mentors in the community, those that paved the way and continue to reinvent themselves and keep us gagging. Then we'll finish up the show with some laughter with our funny little silly segment. This week's episode is gay quotes from famous people. That should be really hysterical. So let's get started. Here at the Faywhat Show, we want to take some time to spotlight those that we consider gifts, to the LGBTQ community on TV, stage, and even more importantly, in our local communities. We admire them, we love them, and we consider them to be our gay icons. They're artists, singers, activists, and drag queens. They have always helped us through with entertainment, hope, laughter, tears, and standing up for our rights and making us dance our asses off. And today's guest is one of those exceptional people. Let's just say that they were born in Havana. Danilo de la Torre. You already know who I'm talking about, right? Yes, he was trained as a classical dancer, began dancing professionally at age 17, relocated to Paris, France in 1985, where he became part of Le Ballet Théâtre de la Cine. You liked how I said that, right? A contemporary dance company in France. So in 1990, he relocated to Miami Beach, and the following year, drag icon, you guessed it, Adora was born, a product of the early days of South Beach nightlife. So Adora took off around in the mid-90s with the most creative drag night at the time at Barrio Restaurant. From there, almost each night had to have Adora, propelling him into TV, movies, theaters. Everywhere you looked, you could see Adora. Today, you can find Adora now representing us in communities, in the community, in venues and events all over Florida and the United States. So without any further ado, welcome to the Faywhat Show, the incomparable Adora.
Hey! Thank you
Hi,
so
mamita.
much for that introduction. Was so beautiful. Thank you. Very
Qué
nice.
linda. Thank you so much. No, thank you for being here. Mira, y tú, lo más sencilla on a Tuesday evening, huh?
Oh yes, that's the way. That's the way. But no pattern. It's a solid colors. Very sencilla.
No,
Además, está
very
lloviendo.
sencilla.
It's raining. It's a raining day. If you have to get out.
No, yeah, te ves como si estás vestida para la casa, just like the bata dress, right?
Hanging.
Hey, who is that picture behind you, Adora?
Oh, that picture was taken by an unknown photograph. This was a backdoor Bambi when it was done at the Vagabond. But two friends of mine went to this show. It wasn't an hour show, but it was a kind of a show. And they saw this picture hanging along with other photographs. They don't even know the photographer. And like decoration, at the end of the party, say, can we take it? They say, yes, please take it. David Solero, DJ David Solero, un santo, entiende que me regalaron esta foto, fue súper nice, de verdad.
Y todavía lo tienes en tu pared, así tan lindo.
David Solero y Betty Gómez, porque ellos son los dos juntos. Y me la enmarcó Oliver Sánchez en Swamp Space. Este marco tan bello.
It's beautiful, beautiful. So I was asking
Estaba
Adora about the painting behind her.
And she's Memorial Weekend o algo así.
I love it. So she has had that since backdoor Bambi days.
Like
You guys,
so we can see her double.
I love it. I mean, but she looks like you. I thought it was a picture of you, Adora. I swear. I thought it was a painting that somebody had made of you.
It's Adora. It's me.
Oh, okay, so
somebody took the picture,
all you.
and yes, but I don't even know who the photographer is. If you're out there, please.
Call the Faywhat Show so we can find out, because that picture, you can do one of me. You can do one of Faywhat. So, Adora, mi amor, I have been following you and your fabulousness since I was a little tiny lesbian. Well, I was never really a little tiny lesbian because you've seen me. I'm 6 feet tall, but I was once a little tiny lesbian. So, where do we begin? I remember following you in the 90s. Okay, you were up and down Lincoln Road, backdoor Bambi, all up and down Washington Avenue. You were everywhere. How did you survive? ¿Cómo sobreviviste los 90? Porque that was some partying time.
Well, maybe I was young, but it was a healthy party in a way, but life was easier then, and I loved as much as I love now what I was doing then. When I started performing again and all that, I was the happiest person. So the party was part of this scene. It's like the side dish, so, la la. But I had to be ready for work. I couldn't be like all the time or none of that. I had to get up and get a show ready and go and go. But it was a happy party scene. Everything at the time was like fabulous. Ecstasy was fabulous. The house music was fabulous. Everybody was happy. It was a happy time. No problem.
It was a happy time, and the ecstasy made us a lot more happy.
Yes, but there wasn't much about being upset, really. Rent was cheap. The ocean was
especially
fabulous.
on the beach. Yes, the beautiful beach.
The parties were, the only parties, and we were surrounded by the only people, the most talented people around the world that all came here to let their hair down and do what they probably wanted to do for the longest time. And at that moment, that was the moment. It was a perfect storm.
Yeah. It was a wonderful time. The 90s in South Beach. If you don't know about it, talk to somebody about it.
And probably, yes, probably a lot of young people are probably sick and tired of hearing us, older people, talking about the 90s and the 90s. We're sick of it. But probably you will live another time just like we did in the 90s. Or I think everybody kind of does. But you only live that once. Whatever, if it happened, we happened in the Marais in Paris or Soho in New York, Coconut Grove here. When that happened and you're part of that, it's only one time. People try to repeat it and all that. And that's why we talk so much about it, because we had such a good time.
We had such a good time.
Glad that there were no phones.
And we survived. And look, and we're here.
I survived. It's a blessing, and I'm still doing what I love to do. Many didn't. For many reasons, AIDS was one of the reasons that were killing everybody. People was dying like flies. It was really a party and fabulous time, but at the same time, we had that dark shadow behind us all the time. That was AIDS, because every day somebody was dying. Died. If you don't know it, the hospitals were full, and Miami Beach was full of gay people and everybody else. So it was like common. At some point, it was like common. You would be dancing on the dance floor, and somebody would come up to you and say, "Hey, mommy, so and so." Now you knew. Okay. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And they keep dancing.
And we keep dancing. And I've spoken to some people that really partied in the 80s and 90s, and a lot of them suffered survivor's guilt. Like, did that happen to you, Adora? Like, they felt like, wow, I can't, like guilty because they didn't get sick.
Oh no, I'm not guilty, honey. I'm very happy. I have no guilt. I survived. I'm celebrating. I'm not guilt. I didn't do anything wrong. I just survived, and I helped as much as I could, and I'm still helping as much as I could because I'm healthy. When you're healthy, it's so valuable that you're like, whatever. What do I need to do to help people?
Whatever you have to do to keep your health.
But no, I'm not. I have no guilt.
So let me tell you something, Miss Adora. I've always loved your style. I've always loved your makeup, but what I loved about you the most was your Latin representation, okay? You were everywhere. You were all over the place and still are everywhere. Every time I turn around, you're spinning somewhere, right? But you've always been Latina and proud, I have been to like all white American events, like award shows or something like that, and you would be DJing or you would get on the stage and you would automatically represent the Latin culture in such a huge way. That is something that you're a very proud Cuban, aren't you?
I am. Yes, I'm proud Cuban, of course. Because I was born in Cuba, born and raised in Cuba, and most of what I do, I learned it there, God inspired. It's Cuban, from the top to bottom. But I'm not a Cuban artist. I'm an artist. Because this is a mix of a little bit of everything. it could be
De todo un poco.
De todo un poco, mainly, of course, a Latin, and I know that, but I consider myself an artist, not a Cuban artist or an American artist, or anything, an artist. But the Latin in Adora, it's like natural. It's like he can't help it because it's like that. No matter what,
it's who you are.
You can be doing rock and roll, but rock and roll would go a little bit like that, but it's part of her. She can't help it, which is part of my real person too, because it's the way up. But my real person, my skeleton.
You are a real person. You are, but you're Latin inspired. You represent the Latino community, like it or not.
No, that I'm not gonna. But I love it, and I love that's that. I don't want it's a Latin, and then is the artist, and then the Latin is right there, and then the rest comes. But the Latin is like right.
Part of it. It's part of it. Completely. Completely.
You can help it, and it's in me, and I love it. I like it.
Well, I have to ask you, since we are both Latina, and what happened, what's been going on in Cuba with the protests and everything. What do you think about all that?
Well, I think it was, of course, about time, but it's easier to say than do. In the island, people, they can't defend themselves. They can't do. They don't have anything. All they have is like a rock and then maybe a baseball bat. And
have you been back there? Have you been back since you left?
No, I've never been back. I'm one of the maybe very few people that don't have anybody in Cuba. I don't have family. Everybody's here. I'm so lucky. So I never had, I never missed it really. When I go, and didn't want to pay all the money that it made me pay to go, etc., etc. Lately, my husband and I, we've been making plans and buy passport to go and all that stuff. And the reason that I really wanted to go back is because I see the island crumbling. It's crumbling by the second. Everything is falling down, including everything, the people, the streets, the rivers, everything is crumbling. And de Habana. La Habana es una joya y se está desbordando a minuto. Each building that falls down in Havana, it's no more. And that's been going for years and years and years. So I wanted to go before the whole Havana crumbled down. That was my idea. And then things got complicated and never went. But I probably would go. But the Cubans now, they have to confront with the military that these people have no mercy. So how could they just go out and say abajo Fidel, boom, because it's easier from here. Say, hey, get out and protest, you people, don't do anything. We didn't do anything. We left. We a suitcase or a boat or whatever, and we left. And we're here, desde la carreta, yes, sacan para, and it takes both to do that.
Exactly.
People disappear easily. So what they're doing now is huge, because it's not only in one little village or Havana. It's all over the place.
It's everywhere.
And I think it's the hunger. Normally,
people are going hungry, but Adora, they've been going hungry for years. It's just how long can these people be?
This is different. The hunger now is hungry. People, Cubans always manage one way or the other.
Resolver. Los cubanos siempre resuelven.
One way or the other. But now, people are really hurting. They have no water. They've been locked down. They've been with no food and back.
And COVID. And then we talk about COVID and the vaccines and the Russian vaccine or whichever it was that they were using there that was not even up to par to our Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Whatever. Who knows what vaccine is up to the task? We don't know. We don't know the vaccine. Nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, they don't know. The Cubans are going
Pero entiendo lo que tú dices, es bien fácil decir todas esas cosas desde aquí.
Desde
What
aquí,
they're going through there is completely different.
it's different. So finally, they get pissed, like really pissed for one reason or whatever, and out. And now I think that's it. The cat is out of the hat. Y esto se va a joder. I don't know how. Okay, could take many directions. We don't know.
Yeah. This isn't just a protest. This is going to be a lot to happen from now on.
Yes. So, but
and it might get very bad before it even gets any better. Also,
everything you have to get. That's the ugly about these things. Bad, and then we'll see if it gets. I mean, anything probably better than that. But but bravo a todos los cubanos en Cuba y sigan para adelante, por favor. Se lo digo yo desde aquí, así. Pero sí, hagan lo que sí, ya están arriba del burro, hay que darle los palos ahora, y el apoyo que le podemos dar desde Miami es gritando, por supuesto, monetario, por aquí, de muchas partes, porque yo de verdad que no quiero ir allá a protestar, pero puedo ayudar de muchas maneras. Yo no puedo estar protestando así porque hay maneras de ayudarlos y que ellos sepan allá en Cuba que nosotros todos estamos aquí, así, mira, ready, ¿qué necesitan para que continúen? Porque ya están encima del burro, ahora que está.
Ya. Ay, eso mismo. Bueno, le mandamos muchas oraciones a la gente en Cuba and we hope that we're praying for you and we're standing with you. So vamos a hablar un poco más de tu carrera, Adora. Drag in the 90s, drag in the 2000s versus now. ¿Qué tú crees? ¿Qué es la gran diferencia?
Well, that's Ralph, the dog. I know Ralph, papi, I know.
What's his name? What's your dog's name?
Ralph.
You gave him an American white man's name, Ralph. O es que tú le preguntaste, ¿cómo tú te llamas? Y él dijo, Ralph. Y tú dijiste, Ralph is his name.
Sí, pensamos que Ralph a lo mejor podía ser French, pero Rafael, well, Ralph sounds, the drag scene in the 90s, and now it's like very different. I think it was more club kid, kind of like closer to club kid than now. A little bit, I don't want to say outrageous, but there were different characters. They had they weren't afraid to do anything. A little bit more camp. It was much more camp and real.
It was a lot more fun. It seemed more fun, more funny.
Oh, it was constant fun. We were more together. We used to see each other more. The girls used to see each other all the time, or parties, or work, and they hang out. It was different. It was work, party, hang out, lunch. Of course, with no competition, no bitchisness, and whoever decided to become a bitch probably disappear. Know that now the bitches, no, not really. But I don't think that the girls are like together, like they all hang out, this and that. The palace girls with the our house girls, everybody would go out, and after maybe there's too much work. I don't know, what it is, but we also didn't have that like uniformidad in shows. Now you go to a show, you expect what's gonna happen, and a lot of them are doing kind of like the same thing with different outfits. No offense. But it's okay. So you see a lot of that similar, and I don't remember seeing that in the 90s.
Before. Do you watch any of the drag shows? I think that's probably the reason why so many women started becoming drag queens, because they saw that they could make a living out of it. Do you watch any of the drag shows?
The local drag shows?
Like no, not the local drag shows, like RuPaul's Drag Race y cosas
así. Sometimes if it's somebody.
If it's on, you'll watch it, pero no es algo que tú vas a buscar a ver.
No, I don't follow. No. Si hay alguien, somebody that it's worth, whatever I like, I go and I take a look. And many talented people have come from there, especially from the beginning. Many good
From the
talent.
first seasons, yeah.
First,
Adora, can I ask you, how many years have you been in our business now?
that many.
Es que, mira, yo contando los años, and I'm like, es imposible, it's impossible, because you...
No te caben en la mano.
No, no me caben en la boca.
Adora was born in 1991, if I can say. It was from 1990. My career started in 1991. Go figure.
Oye, so tú usas una crema de cara bien buena, because you look exactly the same from the 90s now.
I sleep upside down. I hang by my feet.
You heard it here first on the Faywhat show. Adora is actually a bat.
Para la circulación es buenísimo. De verdad,
no, el círculo. I mean, no, espera, no, es otra cosa.
Para la circulación, de verdad, es muy bueno porque siempre estamos parados y cuando se para uno de cabeza, como revuelve el pomo, ¿entiendes? Con el azúcar y eso.
No, y también ayuda con las tetas, so it doesn't,
con las tetas todo, porque
bring them down.
Ven, mamá.
I freaking love you. Okay, so Adora, you're one of my favorite DJs, and I have to tell you that I love your sets. You know, my wife,
thank you very much.
she's a crazy Cuban, and she hates everything and everybody. But when we go somewhere that you're spinning, she's like, oh, I always gotta remember to download her stuff.
That's a nice
She's
compliment.
great. It really is. Much. But I te tengo que decir que, encima de todo, thank you for always representing our community. I know that there's drag queens somewhere that look up to you and, maybe got into this business because they saw you and they saw that it was possible to follow their dreams. So, muchas gracias por being you.
I love what I do. I love to be, I love to represent. That's, sometimes when you start any career, I think, you never think of representing or doing. You just do. But when it comes a time that somebody tells you, you're going to do something somewhere, and they go, represent. I remember somebody told me that once. And they go, represent. And I was walking up on stage too. And I'm like, it hit me. I'm like, yes, I'm going to represent. Well, my people were Miami at the time,
Yeah.
Now I have a responsibility, and it was at that moment, it was a long time ago, that it hit me with this person told me, represent. Like, wow.
Yeah, como es más grande que ti. It's bigger than you. You're represent at that moment. Like, wow.
Represent. And walking to them, I'm like, oh my God, represent. And any change, the moment I start, telling what I need to say, I'm like, even my posture changed. I'm like, and that stayed in my mind. Whoever that person was, because I didn't see it. It stayed in my mind, and I always have that in mind, because that's it. I mean, this is what I'm doing. If I don't represent well, just goodbye, because it's not fair to my people.
Yeah. Well, you keep doing what you're doing, and you keep representing. Where can we see you these days? What are your next couple of things that you'll be working on?
Well, I'm still doing the Saxony bar at Faena. We were doing it like 3 nights a week, but not the summer. So that's what I'm doing. Only Saturday nights at the Saxony bar. Faena is really beautiful there. Also, the drag brunch here at Gastro Bar, Miami Shores, if you are in town.
Yes, that's Sins.
This
correct.
Sunday, it's right now, this Sunday. Drag brunch at Gastro Bar, really cool DJ.
I love that.
Show.
Yes.
Really nice.
I've been there. Poison Ivy is also one of the hosts. TP Lords has been one of the hosts there. And you've got to go. Adora spins the music. The food is fantastic. You got to go check it out. So make sure that you guys follow Adora on social media. You guys see it as Adora Drag on social media. Follow her and everywhere that she goes. Thank you so much for being with us today. We love you. Te quiero.
Pleasure. Gracias por tenerme. Los quiero a todos y que viva Cuba Libre.
Yes. Oh, wasn't she fantastic? Oh my God, what a legend. Like, wow. So don't forget, family, that if you like what you're watching, then tell others and subscribe. Ring the bell and share, share, share. That's how we get going around here. And we say thank you very much. So now, it's part of this, it's the part of the show where we just let loose with a little bit of humor with our gay quotes from famous people. You guys ready? All right. I do really bad impersonations, so let's see. All right, the first one. When I overhear someone say, "That's effing gay," I grab them enthusiastically by the shoulders, grin, and say, "Yes, I love it too," in a flirty voice. That was Adam Lambert. Come on, it's Adam Lambert. Who would really say anything back to him? He's so freaking pretty, right? All right, next quote is, "I like my men like I like my coffee. I don't drink coffee." That's Ellen DeGeneres. I love that. Wasn't that hysterical? Me, I like my men like I like my shoes. Black, shiny, and painful. It is what it is. Next, it's a no-brainer. If you're not for gay marriage, don't marry a gay person. That's Whoopi Goldberg. Oh yeah, Whoopi is like the freaking Gandhi, right? I mean, seriously, I love that woman. Next, number 4. If homosexuality is a disease, let's all call in queer to work. Hello, can't work today, still queer. That was Robin Tyler. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine. Hi, yeah, still doing things with women that might alarm you. Can't come in. I'm hoping it's contagious. Maybe I'll come in tomorrow. Next, number 5. Overall, the LGBT community, we're the same. We're like everybody else, except we're better looking and more stylish. That was comedian Wanda Sykes. I love her. And we're very extra, and we're very cute, and we're also fabulous. Number 6, I hate the word homophobia. It's not a phobia. You're not scared. You're just an asshole. That was Morgan Freeman. Yeah, exactly, Shawshank. I never got that. You're afraid? Like what? I might give you some kind of fashion sense or something? I'm not really sure. Number 7, my cousin is gay. In school, while others were dissecting frogs, he was opening flies. That was Rodney Dangerfield. No respect, no respect. And that is the gay quotes from famous people. We got to do that again. I think we've got some new ones from some other ones from some other famous people. We'll do that in a future segment of the Faywhat show. So you have an idea or a story that you'd like to share? We want to hear all about it. Cuéntanos. It might be featured in one of our upcoming segments. Send them our way on our Instagram page at Faywhat YouTube or email us at info@faywhat.com. So I'd like to thank our special guest, the incredible, the iconic Adora, for just gracing us with her presence today. She was so incredible. And those behind the scenes, honestly, we can't do what we do without them. To my producer director, Luisito Flores, our project manager, David Fernandez, and all of you for letting us do our thing. Please join us next week with another fantastic show. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and like us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So a gay icon is a public figure who is highly regarded by the LGBTQ plus community, often for their support of LGBTQ plus rights and activism, or for just being a prominent member of the community themselves, or just for being themselves. The most widely recognized gay icons are often celebrities who garnered large LGBTQ plus fan bases like Judy Garland, Diana Ross, Madonna, Janet Jackson, Cher, Lady Gaga. I can go on and on, right? But the term is also applied to politicians, authors, and other historical figures deemed relatable to our causes, like drag queens, artists. So yes, admire and gag when your favorite celeb comes out with something fierce, but never forget who made you, you. If it wasn't for LGBTQ people from our past, it's unlikely that I would have been able to marry my wife, or I would have had our workplace rights or rights to be on my wife's insurance when I fell ill. I am forever in their debt, and moving forward, it is my responsibility to fight for the rights of other communities, such as the trans community, because of you, Marsha P. Johnson, and you, Sylvia Rivera. And if you don't know who they were, Google, bitches! Marsha P. Pay it no mind Johnson was a gay liberation activist who played a huge role in paving in New York City, alongside Sylvia Rivera and other drag artists and trans women. They were present during the Stonewall Uprising in 1969 that eventually changed the way local police treated our community. You and so many like you are our true gay icons. Yo soy Faywhat, sending everyone love, peace, and happiness to all. Los quiero, stay gay.